So, Quiron, if you had the opportunity today to say something to Miss Cathy Hughes, what would you say to her?
Well, I would say to Miss Cathy Hughes that she's very strong, and she gives people like the motivation to keep going, because when she was younger, she had to go through things, but she didn't let it stop her, and she kept on going.
That is amazing, Quiron, and I couldn't agree with you more. It is so honored just to have you here speaking with us today. And is there anything that you could say out there to our youth that that inspired them as
I was a troubled youth. I was pregnant at 16. I was a mother by the time I was 17, and my mother practiced hard love. She said that if I wanted to play adult games, I need to live as an adult, so she put me out. So it was me and my son, and the interesting thing is, although she put us out of her house, she didn't stop supervising me. She'd call every evening, ask me, what I was feeding him, would complain if I was opening a can, or, it's like, frozen vegetables are better than canned vegetables, but you need to learn how to cook fresh vegetables. So she never, allowed me to just do whatever I wanted to do. But he was 5 years old before she ever allowed me to leave him with her. She refused to keep him. She said, no, you want to be grown. But I talk to young people a lot about teen pregnancy. And so often, and it hasn't changed much since even my day, when they think that if you get pregnant as a teenager, that it's a mistake, it's a handicap, it's going to ruin your life, you're not going to be able. That's not true. The glass is either half full or half empty. Now, if you want to see it as half empty, then it was a mistake and it's going to be horrible. If you see it as half full, then you realize that God has blessed you with the greatest opportunity to first and foremost think outside yourself and have a priority bigger than yourself. It's so easy when you're 16, 17, 18 years old or younger to focus only on yourself. What am I going to put on today? Who likes me? What car am I going to be seen in? Am I going to get an invitation to this or that? And when you have a baby, you got to worry about, did I remember to pick up some Pampers? Mm-hmm. Do I have his milk? Okay, do I have someone to take care of him? The other thing that it really helped me focus, because I was a party girl, it helped me focus on staying home and reading and learning and getting my life together, because it slowed me down. I wasn't going to leave my precious little bundle of joy with just anyone, okay? And when God put him in my body, and the nurses and doctors took him out of my body and put him in my arms, I said, God, there are no mistakes with you. So I know that this baby is not a mistake, but I also know that I don't know how to do this. But help me make this baby my top priority. And I say to young girls all the time, it's real easy to be a good mama. You can be 14, 13, 12 and be a good mama before they get to be a year old. When they start moving and walking and wanting to grab things, it's real easy when they're just eating and sleeping and going to the bathroom. When they're so precious, you can have their little ears pierced, you can dress them up so cute. So most mamas, regardless of the age, teen mamas, are good mamas that first year. Mm-hmm. It's when the child is starting to develop.
Yes.
Can you be selfless enough to concentrate on having a future for this child? And when you concentrate on making certain that that baby that God has blessed you with is going to be entitled to a life that is full of love, entitled to a life where they're going to experience education and different situations where they're going to fascinate you with their growth and their development, then God rewards you when you focus on all those things as it relates to the baby. It's easy to be conceited about yourself.
Yes.
Most of us, even those of us who want to dress a certain way or look a certain way, we still want to learn. But when your priority is for another human being to learn because of what you do every day, then guess what? You learn like you've never learned before. You grow like you've never grown before. And I have to honestly say, I thank God for a career that I was blessed with. That Michael Jordan once said it best. He said he didn't know they were going to pay him to play basketball. He loved doing it. He would have done it free. I feel the same way about media. I had no idea. When I was a little girl, they used to send notes home. Cathy talks too much in class. I was like, I make money talking now. Okay, all right. They tried to hamper my career. They tried to stifle my career. But when you really do what's right by another human being, God rewards you in ways that you can never even imagine. Oprah says it best, God dreams bigger dreams than you ever dreamed for yourself. But when you're able to stop worrying about what you're going to wear and worry about what you're going to put on this child, when you stop worrying about whether or not you're going to have a date and start worrying about was your child invited to so-and-so's birthday party, okay, then your whole life changes and it opens up. And I think they want me.
That was beautiful, Mrs. Hughes, and you said it best. And even I quote you in one of your interviews where you said your top priorities was your son and your career and in that order.
I love the fact that today I'm being honored for my career with the wax figure. But my greatest accomplishment is not what I've done professionally. Although I'm glad that I know that I was part of an effort to open doors for individuals like yourself to have your own television show. But the reality is, I think that the greatest challenge and the greatest blessing and the greatest accomplishment, I don't think I've been successful in my career yet because I think I'm still a work in progress. I think you're judged on how successful you are wrongly. You should be judged at the end. Did you help more people than you hurt? Did you change someone's life because you had a certain position in life? But I really if I could give myself an award, it would be a motherhood award, not a professional career award.
Yes, you deserve it all. And you certainly deserve what's taking place here today, the Unveiling. And thank you, Miss Cathy Hughes, for joining us today on Spotlight.
I want to wish you and Spotlight the very best. I'm so proud. When I see a sister doing her own thing, it just makes my heart sing because I know that just like I impacted my son's life, I've impacted another woman's life. And that's very important to me.
Yes, you have.
I wasn't blessed with any girls.
Wow. That's so amazing. And I thank you once again for being here with us today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on Spotlight. We'll be right back. So, Quiron, have you been to a festival such as this before?
Yes, I went to the AFRAM over the summer.
And what was that experience like for you?
It was fun. I seen a lot of different things going on. And
So
I learned a lot of things.
that's awesome. So is there anything that you can say to the teens that, that maybe can inspire them to want to come out and be a part of this? Like, because especially with it being something that they don't know anything about, but the benefit of actually coming out and being a part of it.
I think you should always try new stuff. You never know what you may like or not like, or what you may find out.
Chelsea Green, do that for me by putting your hands together right now.
Quiron, what are your aspirations and dreams for when you get older, become an adult?
Wow, I want to become a pharmacist.
Wow, that is amazing. So what school do you attend, and how do you plan to, chase that dream?
I attend Woodlawn High School, but I currently take a class called Addict, and it's a college prep class.
That is amazing. You know what college you want to attend?
University of Florida.
Wow, amazing. Also, it's my knowledge that you're affiliated with the Great Blacks in Wax Museum. Could you tell us a bit about your involvement with that? Because you've been affiliated with them pretty much since you can remember.
Well, yes, I'm affiliated with them. It started with my grandmother. She started to take me around and show me things, and ever since then, it just has been going on.
So, Dr. Martin, what is your take on today?
Well, it's a very proud moment for the Great Blacks in Wax Museum to have the likes of Dr. Cathy Hughes in the museum, and have her to be able to preserve her legacy. And that's what we do. We are entrusted with preserving the legacy of those people that we have depicted in wax. And so the key word for me is trust, that there are any number of things that they could have done, a number of ways that they could have been honored, but they entrusted us to honor them the way we attempted to.
And what an amazing event it is today. So could you tell us more, like, because I know you got the chance to speak one-on-one with Dr. Hughes, and like, what do you have to say about her as a human being?
Well, Cathy Hughes and Elmer Martin and Joanne Martin go way back. We understand what the commitment it takes to have a dream and try to realize that dream. I tell people all the time that our first interview that helped us to get the word out about the museum and take it to a broader audience than we certainly could have attracted on our own was with Cathy Hughes. My husband Elmer, we were called by Cathy Hughes' publicist or public relations person to come in to do an interview, because she had found out about the museum. And I wasn't able to go. Often my husband and I did those interviews together, but I wasn't able to go, and he went to Washington, D.C. That's where her studio was. And they started the interview, and she stopped because it's a call-in show, and she said, I'm going to pause here, and I want the audience to know that I know that you're waiting on the line to call in, but today we're going to suspend all phone calls, because when we get a chance to get this kind of information, this deep, rich information from someone like a Dr. Elmer Martin, who is clearly so knowledgeable, then we have to take advantage of that opportunity. So tomorrow we'll resume your calls and answer your questions, but today we're just going to sit back and listen. And you know, that was so amazing. And sometimes I'd go down to the museum as we began to acquire properties on the block. I'd go down to the museum and walk in, and there would be Cathy Hughes.
Yes.
With her staff. Any new person who came to her, who joined her staff, had to come to the museum, and she would gather up everybody, and she would take them on a tour through the museum. And so it became a part of her professional development activities. And so again, we go way back. I've seen her blossom, but I know not as well as some people, but I do have a sense of what her challenges have been, and how she has overcome those challenges, and how she is a part of that legacy that is the communications industry, and the ways in which African Americans have contributed to that industry.
And that is absolutely amazing. And also, like, with knowing her triumphs, you also being a successful Black entrepreneurial woman, like, what would you say to our youth out there just to keep them inspired, because you made great achievements yourself?
Well, I think about the youth from our summer programs, and I think about the ones who were in this year's program, and the ones that were in the past programs, but particularly these youth, they help me to understand why I do what I do, why it's so easy and motivating to do what I do, because I see them come into our tour guide training program and be resistant a little, resistant to the idea that it's like being in school, and they come in on day one with that attitude, and by the time they make it through the 6 weeks program, then they're excited about having met someone from South Africa or having presented to a family from Wisconsin and talking about the information that they've learned and standing before people that they don't know and presenting information that they have learned through the 6 weeks program. And I know that is transformative, but it also speaks to their willingness to step outside of the information given, the stereotypes, the perceptions, all of those things, and rise to the occasion because they're young and enthusiastic and capable, and they simply need someone to believe in them and to understand that and see the possibilities rather than the probabilities.
Yes, and you've certainly been an extraordinary impact on making that happen for our youth. And is there anything you'd like to add before we go to a break?
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity that we get to be a part of Spotlight under the National Great Blacks in Wax Museum. This program that's been on the air for some 12 years, and could not have done any of that without Loretta Gubernatis and Lou Gubernatis. And when we talk about entrusting and believing, they entrusted us to be a part of their vision and their quest to impart information. And so it's just the ways in which people can come together and believe in one another and help one another. And that's what makes us all the human beings that we should always aspire to be.
Yes, and they deserve a great deal of thanks. And also, I'd like to thank you personally for allowing us to be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hello, my name is Quiron. I'm here with Debbie Ramsey from Unveiling magazine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Quiron. I'm so glad to be with you today and to talk about bully prevention. As you know, October is National Bully Prevention Month, and I have been able to publish our very first inaugural magazine, which is a voice for young people such as yourself, Quiron, to talk about bullying, prevention, and fundamentally, bullying is just another way of people acting badly. Not only young people such as yourself, Quiron, but also young, older people who are on the work site. You might not be aware, but your parents or your grandparents, someone that you know as an adult, may be getting bullied. And bad behavior is bad behavior. And during the interview that we met the other day, when you talked with me in my office, I informed you how I was a former Baltimore City police detective. And fundamentally, as a police detective, I had to handle a lot of cases where people were just behaving badly. And as a matter of fact, statistics show that young people as early as 8 who participate in bad behavior end up being incarcerated. So therefore, Quiron, people, young kids at an early age who are making a habit out of behaving badly could very well end up being in a situation that is not very, very kind to them.
Ms. Ramsey, what is bullying?
Glad you asked that question, Quiron. Bullying is it takes many forms. Fundamentally, it is people acting badly towards one another. It is something that you could be teased about repeatedly, and it's something that makes you feel bad. So oftentimes people may write off kidding around, but it could be a form of bullying if it bothers you, and if it is not stopped, and if it continues. So bullying can not only just be someone putting their hands on you, someone cyberbullying you. It could be someone doing something as simple as calling you out of your name, and you don't particularly like it, and you have asked them to stop it, and they are repeatedly doing it over and over and over again. So bullying can go from a tease to someone feeling very, very depressed because that person is not taking them seriously, that their feelings are being hurt, it bothers them, and it could lead to a form of depression.
Thank you. What could you do to stop bullying?
Well, one of the most effective way, and I'm glad you asked that question, that's a very good question, Quiron, because believe it or not, a lot of people are not aware, but bullying can be stopped. How can we stop it? We stop it by exposing it. It's pretty much like, Quiron, if you had, I know you like sports, and while you were playing sports, you fell and hurt yourself to the point that it was very, very painful. Would you keep that to yourself, or would you tell your parents?
Tell.
You would tell, exactly, because why?
Because I'm hurt.
You're hurt, right. And just be mindful that when we get hurt, it's not just physical pain, it could be deep inside. You ever heard someone say, you just hurt my heart, or you hurt my feelings? Yeah, and that is a form of bullying. So one of the best ways that bullying can be stopped, number one, tell someone that you trust. Let it be known that someone is treating you badly. And if no one knows, how can someone help? And you can't blame the parents if they don't come and help you if you have not told them. And I always like to just be a reminder for young people as you go to school that us parents, we are counting on you to tell us what is going on. When you come home at the end of the day and say, hey, how was school? We really want to know. We're not just making conversation. So if you are willing to open up, good or bad, anything that's negative or positive that's happening at school, it needs to be known. The second way how we can stop bullying is be a friend to yourself. Most times when I ask kids, have you ever been bullied? Quiron, you know most young people your age say, no. They say no. And that lets me know that either they don't know what bullying is, and if you have been escaped the wrath of a bully, chances are you've seen someone bully. Have you ever seen anyone bully?
Yes.
Yeah. So you may not have been bullied, or you have seen someone bully, and if you haven't seen anyone bully, you know what's left? You are the bully. So bullying affects everyone across the board. And at the end of the day, Quiron, is that the best thing that young people such as yourself can do is tell someone that you trust.
Thank you. Well, that's it for Tang Sang. We'll be right back.
The next is the team leader and the regular one VIP will be next session. Visions, Christian School, Adequate Dance Incorporation coming up next.
Our festival to do the unveiling. On behalf of Baltimore County Agricultural Festival and the staff, we honor her with this plaque. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.